And that's why I think that all over social media, you see people are like, oh, this is how they feel about black women. Black women are most unprotected. Newsflash, guys, the people who don't want to protect you are not going to protect you. The people who don't like you are going to continue not liking you, whether it's black. Welcome back to the Collette Collective. My name is Collette, and as always, I'm truly just so happy that you decided to click on this video, because we are growing, and it makes me happy that you're engaging with the content that I put out. Today, I want to quickly just share something that has been on my heart, and I was a little apprehensive, a little reluctant to do it, but then I'm saying, you know, people with less positive, uplifting messages and content have all the confidence and the courage in the world to put it out. So why not me? Based on the title of the video, you already have an idea of what I'm about to say, and it was inspired by the passing of Kevin Samuels, an image consultant, a YouTuber. He was very good at it, and I'm not exactly sure what else he did. May he rest in peace. And so you might be asking yourself, what inspiration could Collette have possibly drawn from the passing of Kevin Samuels, who several black women have said that, you know, his platform, his narrative, his message was disparaging to black women particularly. He was very harsh and unkind in how he conveyed his message. A lot of people also say that, namely black men, also some black women, they put forward that he's been helpful, and he was a wonderful businessman, and he only wanted to help. I have the opinion of the former group. I do think that he was unkind in his message, his delivery. But that's not about, this video is not about Kevin Samuels necessarily, but platforms similar to the one Kevin Samuels held. And so black women, I just want to remind you, because I feel like, you know, I have the inkling that you are aware, but we're not really about that life. And I'm wondering why such a powerful group of people in society is not about this life. You know what I'm talking about? Seizing to further allow these platforms to monetize your anger, your outrage, by basically sharing their messaging, sharing, this is what you think about black women. This is how they hate black women, and black women are the bottom. They don't protect us, we're the least protected. There is, of course, something to be said about perpetuating this narrative, even amongst ourselves, repeating it, having it replay in our minds. Subconsciously, it's very detrimental. But I want to speak more so about the way we consistently fund these platforms. Let's look at corporations, for example. Ones like H&M and other big brands that make sweaters with blackface, or have runway shows with nooses around the necks of the models, having black children wearing sweaters with monkeys on it. At this point, guys, come on, it's deliberate, and they do it because they know that your attention, not just black women, black men, your attention is valuable, whether it's positive or negative attention, and they are very happy to capitalize off of this outrage and the way that you've managed to publicize what they're selling to you. Perhaps not you, you're not going to buy it, but guess who's going to buy it? The people whose points of view, whose perspectives, whose beliefs align with their messaging. You're helping them to drive forward what they're selling. These corporations have marketing teams, researchers that are put in place to find the best, most lucrative way to bring their product in front of the eyes of the public, and it's popular to use black people as the butt of the joke, or to use our image, or to mock it. Simply put, they don't care. They really just want you to be angry about it, and it makes them feel good. These people want to see that you are miserable, and that you get to see that this is how they feel about you. And then what do they do? They put out some apology and say, oh, you know, this was insensitive, and nothing ever comes of it, because it is always better to ask for forgiveness than permission, right? They know exactly what they're doing. So that's what platforms such as the one that Kevin Samuels held remind me of. One, yes, they really do feel that way. Two, they understand that this is a very good way to get traction, to bring attention to their channels or whatever it is they're trying to build, because they've seen it time and time again. All you need to say is, black women's skin looks like this, or black women are this, and single mothers and this and that, you know. And not that people are just going to rush towards them because they say it, but yes, these black women are going to be angry. And then I'll have them where I want them. I do want them to be angry and miserable, because I don't necessarily like them. I'm not talking about all black men. I hope that's clear. I'm talking about individuals who have these points of views on women of color, black women, right? But yes, they want to know that you feel inferior and less valuable. I'm saying all of this to say that you have power. What is your power? Your attention. The attention that you are choosing to invest into these platforms, their messages. For example, you know, the fresh and fit guys, they are happy, not just that they've managed to get under your skin, but the fact that you are helping to bring awareness to their platforms, and you are bringing to them people who share these narratives that they hold. I'm going to close off this video by asking you with all my heart, go where it is that you are desired, go where it is that you are valued. I mentioned earlier that there is a psychological impact on circulating these narratives, these messages that you find disparaging, that you think is putting down your group, right? Is denigrating. There is a psychological impact, because one, you end up repeating it in your mind, and for those who are not as mentally strong, if they're not careful, they end up believing it. As human beings, we like negativity. We seek it out. For some reason, we are just comforted by negativity, and our minds are wired in such a way where it wants to find more and more negative messaging. And that's why I think that all over social media, you see people are like, oh, this is how they feel about black women. Black women are most unprotected. Newsflash, guys, the people who don't want to protect you are not going to protect you. The people who don't like you are going to continue not liking you, whether it's black men, whether it's other black women, whether it's white people, whatever, right? And the men, whether it's black men, whether it's white men, white women, other black women, who want to protect you will. The men who love you will let you know, and I do see that every day, right? The men who appreciate you, appreciate what it is that you contribute and bring to this world, they will let you know that this is how they feel, and oftentimes they do. When you look at the outpour of love that Kevin Samuels had received, and is still receiving from a lot of people, a lot of black men, praising him and saying that he stood for something great and he was just trying to help. When you look at how they come to his defense on social media, and how they're just not having any slander of Kevin Samuels, these people protect who they think are worthy of protection, worthy of their love and their defense, and that's okay. And I want you to be okay with that. There are also many people who are just on standing on edge, ready to fight for you too. And if there isn't, you might have to fight for yourself. You might have to be in this fight alone. But for now, pay these platforms dust. Don't give them any attention. Don't forward their videos. Don't forward their tweets. Pretend like they don't exist. And I promise you, they will just disappear. If they say black women are this, and even if they say black women are the devil, did someone say something? Did someone say something? And it's important too that you not only disassociate with this sort of narrative and these platforms and other social media accounts that stand for this sort of negativity, but you have to be putting in the positive, right? Because if you're separating yourself from one thing, what are you moving towards? What are the things that you want to hear, that you want to see? Do you want peace surrounding you? Do you want love? Do you want people who will tell you that they appreciate you and they're happy that you are here? Your hair is beautiful, your skin is beautiful, whatever it is. Where do you find that? If you even look on your social media, are you following people who feel this way, who constantly speak uplifting things about you? And even if it's not people speaking uplifting things about you, do you have any material, any content to draw from that will help you to uplift yourself? I think I'm touching on a lot of things that requires much time. For example, understanding that you are a remarkable creation from God and you have an undisputable beauty. Just because God created you, He looked at you and He said, wow, I outdid myself with this one. Is there any messaging in your life that is pumping this sort of positivity in you? You know what I mean? And you're gonna have to continuously reflect on things that are pure and good and kind, things that are positive. We get like 10 bad thoughts in like a couple of seconds, and we have to keep fighting to say, you know what, man, that's a beautiful tree, that's a lovely bird, this flower is so beautiful. To look at the things that are worthy of our attention. My hope for this video really was to, I suppose, send a PSA to black women that it's one thing that these platforms exist, but it's another thing to help build them by retweeting and sharing their little clips that they want to go viral, because they know that there's a market for this sort of vitriol, and the people who feel this way too will flood their channels and flood their websites, flood their companies, put money in their pockets so that they feel encouraged and motivated to continue to speak like this. And so even if others are making them get rich off of it, please ensure that you will never be counted as one of those individuals, whether it's to share their video, share their little clip, talk about them. I understand that I've mentioned several names in this video, which I would hope was for the purpose of, you know, bringing more understanding to what I'm talking about. But in your day-to-day lives, please ignore them and redirect your attention to all that pours life and love and peace and goodwill into you. Ignore them. Wish them the best. Wish them success, actually, and wish them God's peace and God's love. All right, guys, so that's the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any thoughts or comments on what I've shared, disagreements, it's fine. Please feel free to share it down in the comment. If you enjoyed this video, then like it and subscribe. subscribe to my channel. You know, let's grow. That helps me, it motivates me, and it encourages me. So I would love your support. I feel like there are points that I could have missed since this was an impromptu video, but share below other ways in which you think Black women can redirect their attention to things that serve them for the better and help to uplift them and inspire them and encourage them and support them. You know what I mean? Put that down in the comments. All right, I'm out of here. Gonna go have my coffee. It's a warm, beautiful day. The fro is out, the kaftan is out, and just like a bun up the road, isn't it? Bye.